Let's embark on an exciting journey through the most fascinating historical and cultural aspects of Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. From Stone Age relics to mysterious sites and ancient artifacts, each fact represents a unique part of this city's rich heritage. Immerse yourself in a world of mystery and discovery that will leave you with an unforgettable experience. Ngong Mountain Relics. Have you ever wondered what you might find in the heart of Kenya's modern capital, where sophisticated architecture and modern technology are juxtaposed with ancient artifacts? Artifacts left behind by the ancient inhabitants of the land long before the advent of modern civilization are widespread across large parts of Nairobi, including around Mount Ngong. Stone tools, remains of primitive settlements, and ritual objects are reminders that Nairobi was not always a bustling city, and that its soil harbors secrets as old as time itself. Stone Age relics shed light on the history of mankind and its interaction with nature in what is now Nairobi. These artifacts become a bridge between the past and the present, reminding us that even in the midst of modern urban landscapes, traces of our ancient ancestors can be found. But why do people always try to get in touch with the past? Perhaps they want to get answers to their questions, or to find the best health. Fortunately, we know how to help you with the latter. Our whole team recommends that you take out health insurance from Ekta Traveling at a 37% discount to be sure of your health. Follow the link in the comments and start your journey to a healthy and safe life today. Now let's get back to our list. Safari in the city Nairobi, famous for its modern ambitions, may surprise you with its safari offerings. But how is this possible in a city that seems to spend most of its time in the hustle and bustle of the city? At Nairobi National Park, which is just a few kilometers from the city center, you can experience the real Wild West right within the city limits. Giraffes, buffalo, lions, and many other wild animals live here, giving you the impression that you are on a real African safari without leaving the city. This unique safari experience in the city allows travelers from all over the world to enjoy close encounters with wildlife without having to spend a lot of time traveling to remote national parks. For those visiting Nairobi, a safari in the city becomes an unforgettable adventure, adding new shades to city life and Kenya's natural beauty. The art of trade. Would you like to immerse yourself in the world of African crafts and Nairobi's mysterious markets? Nairobi's African crafts and markets are a veritable museum of local craft culture. Here you will find a variety of products, from jewelry and souvenirs to clothing and furnishings, handcrafted by artisans using traditional techniques and materials. What makes these artifacts unique is their authenticity and craftsmanship, and the fact that they reflect the richness of Kenya's cultural heritage. Many of them have ancient roots that can be traced back to the 13th and 14th centuries, when local tribes began using them in their daily lives and rituals. Strolling through Nairobi's African markets, you can experience the atmosphere of ancient traditions and revitalize the spirit of history of this fascinating region. These crafts and markets are not just places of trade, but true art spaces where each item has its own history and significance. Immerse yourself in the skill and creativity of African artisans and discover the richness and diversity of their creations. Technology boom. What historical context and factors have contributed to the technology boom in Kenya's capital city? And how has this changed the city and the country? The technology boom in Kenya's capital city began in recent decades, in parallel with an increased interest in technological development in the country. One of the key highlights has been the development of mobile technology, especially mobile payments, which has significantly increased access to financial services for the population. In addition, the government and private companies have invested heavily in the development of startups and technology incubators, which has created a favorable environment for high-tech innovation and entrepreneurship. The technology boom has attracted international attention to Kenya as the innovation center of East Africa. This has contributed to economic growth and job creation in the country, and made Nairobi an attractive destination for young professionals and entrepreneurs. The technology boom has thus had a significant impact on the development and modernization of Kenya, transforming the capital into one of the leading technology centers in the region. Tea Festival. How do you feel about the idea of immersing yourself in the world of tea right in Kenya's capital city? The Nairobi Tea Festival raises an interesting question. How can this city, better known for its business centers and cultural events, surprise its residents and visitors with a themed tea festival? The Nairobi Tea Festival is a unique event that brings together lovers of the drink from all over the world. It is held annually in different parts of the city and includes tastings of different varieties of tea, masterclasses on preparing the drink, exhibitions of tea artifacts, and even contests for the best recipe of tea cocktail. The festival becomes a platform for exchange of experience between tea experts, farmers, and just lovers of this drink. Thus, the Nairobi Tea Festival not only allows you to enjoy the diversity of tea traditions and discover new aromas and flavors, but also promotes tea culture in the region and draws the attention of Kenyans and tourists to the richness of Kenya's tea heritage. I suggest we move on. Matatu, immerse yourself in the history of Nairobi and its settlements. What secrets and mysteries hide the ancient settlements of this city? One of the oldest settlements on which modern Nairobi is built is Matatu. It was a small place founded by Maasai tribes before the British colonizers came. In those days, there were animals in the area, and the locals were engaged in cattle breeding and hunting. Over the years, Matatu has evolved into modern Nairobi, which has become a major political, economic, and cultural center. However, traces of ancient settlements can still be found around the city, reminding us of how it all began. These historic sites serve as reminders of the rich heritage and cultural diversity that define the essence of Nairobi and its society. Westlands neighborhood. Imagine that your city becomes a place where cultures from all corners of the world come together. How would this affect your daily life? Nairobi is a mosaic of different ethnic groups and nationalities living in different parts of the city. One of the most cosmopolitan neighborhoods is Westlands, where many foreign diplomats and representatives of international companies reside. People from different countries in Africa, Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world can be found in this neighborhood. The Eastleigh neighborhood is dominated by the Somali diaspora, while the Karen neighborhood has many residents with European roots and backgrounds. Nairobi's multi-ethnicity makes it a unique cultural center where people of different nationalities neighbor and share cultural heritage. According to recent figures, more than 40% of the city's population is Kenyan, while the remaining 60% is made up of foreign groups such as Indians, Somalis, Europeans, Arabs, and people from other African countries. This multicultural nature of the city forms its unique look and dynamic atmosphere, making Nairobi one of the most interesting and diverse cities in Africa. Believe the following facts, even more interesting, so let's move on to the next issue: traditional architecture. In representation, every structure in the city is part of the historical narrative, and each facade represents a unique chapter of cultural heritage. In Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, architecture not only reflects the past, but also weaves together many fascinating stories and traditions. Various types of traditional architecture can be found in the city, which reflects the centuries-old history and cultural diversity of Kenya. One prominent example is the Maasai villages built from wrought wood tents known as manyatas. These settlements are often used by Maasai tribes as temporary dwellings during the transitional seasons or during festivals and traditional ceremonies. At the same time, examples of colonial architecture can also be found in the city, especially in the Karen district, which was named after Karen Blixen, author of The Allure of Africa. In this neighborhood, one can see stately residences and buildings built in the style of the British colonial era, which demonstrate the influence of the British heritage on Nairobi's architecture. Nairobi is also famous for its modern architectural landmarks, such as the Kenyatta International Conference Center, KICC, and the numerous skyscrapers in the city's business center. These structures reflect Nairobi's modern development as a major business and financial center in East Africa, highlighting its role as an important hub on the continent. Unification of tribes. How do the tribes of Kenya find common ground in Nairobi, a city where cultures and traditions merge? Nairobi is home to an amazing convergence of Kenya's diverse tribes, such as the Kikuyu, Luo, Luhya, Kamba, Kalenjin, Meru, and others. They come to the city from different parts of the country in search of work, education, and a better life, and in the process of interacting and neighboring find common ground, building new relationships and images of a shared future. This process of tribal unification happens because of the unique atmosphere of the city, where people of different ethnic groups live side by side, share experiences and traditions. Nairobi is becoming a place where cultural diversity is not just tolerated, but actively merged into the fabric of society, fostering understanding and cooperation among tribes. Let's move on. Fashion verdict. How is the fashion and design industry in Nairobi growing, and what styles of clothing are most popular amongst locals? The fashion and design sector in Nairobi is experiencing rapid growth, and is attracting the attention of both local and international designers. The city has a mix of traditional African motifs and contemporary fashion trends. Local designers create unique collections inspired by Kenya's rich cultural heritage, while young stylists experiment with new trends and technologies. Nairobi also has a burgeoning fashion industry with high-quality boutiques, local markets, and creative marketplaces offering original pieces. Nairobi is becoming not only the fashion center of East Africa, but also an iconic place where different cultural influences and innovative approaches to fashion and design mix. This creates a unique and diverse style that reflects the vibrancy and creativity of this city. Olosho. What secret rituals does this city hide, and what can they tell us about its cultural heritage? There are many secret rituals in Nairobi, each associated with a particular ethnic group or religious community. One such rite is the Olosho, which is performed by Maasai chiefs to celebrate the transition of young boys into adulthood. This rite involves a number of rituals, including initiation, circumcision, and tests of endurance, and serves to symbolize the transition from youth to maturity and responsibility. The Olosho ritual is conducted in strict secrecy, and only members of the Maasai community have access to it. However, its meaning and symbolism remain important aspects of Kenya's cultural heritage. This ritual not only strengthens the bond between tribe members, but also passes on ancient traditions and values to the next generations. Let's continue our exciting journey. Music Festival. The magic of notes and rhythms fills the streets of Nairobi when it's time for the annual Music Festival. This event not only lights up the city with musical magic, but also unites its people around a shared love of sounds and melodies. The Nairobi Music Festival takes place every year over several days, usually in early summer, attracting musicians and artists from all over the world. What makes this festival special is its variety of musical genres and styles presented on different stages in the city. From traditional African rhythms to contemporary world music, everyone finds something to their liking at this celebration of sounds. The Nairobi Music Festival not only provides an opportunity to enjoy performances by talented artists, but also creates a platform for cultural exchange and interaction between the city's diverse communities. The event helps to broaden the cultural horizon of residents and draws international audiences to Nairobi's musical richness. Human remains from Nairobi. What secrets do Nairobi's ancient archaeological finds hold? Let's find out what amazing artifacts hide beneath the layer of time in the heart of this city. Among Nairobi's archaeological finds, Ololise stands out, where ancient human and animal remains have been discovered, as well as various artifacts that testify to the life and culture of the ancient inhabitants of the area. One of the most significant archaeological finds is the Man of Nairobi, the remains of a member of Homo erectus discovered in 1972. The remains of the Man of Nairobi represent some of the oldest archaeological finds in Kenya. They are estimated to be about 1.6 million years old, making them an important object of study for archaeologists and paleontologists. These finds are helping scientists understand the evolution of the genus Homo and provide insight into the lives of ancient humans in this region of Africa. Moving on, environmental issues. What are the environmental challenges facing Nairobi today, and what initiatives are being taken to address these challenges? Description of fact. Nairobi, like many other major metropolises, faces a number of serious environmental challenges, including air pollution, waste, soil degradation, and loss of biodiversity due to urban development and unauthorized developers. However, in recent years, various initiatives have emerged in the city to combat these problems. These include the creation of urban parks and green spaces, waste management programs, the introduction of alternative energy sources, and investment in education, and public awareness of the importance of environmental protection. Despite the complexity of environmental issues in Nairobi, proactive steps and initiatives in sustainable development and environmental protection offer hope for the prospect of improving the situation and creating a greener and healthier city for future generations. Mauzu. How do you imagine a water festival in the heart of Nairobi? Let's take a look at the significance and meaning this celebration has for the people of the city. The Water Festival, known as Mauzu, is celebrated in Nairobi every year in late March or early April. This festival is a symbol of the beginning of the rainy season and is celebrated by many ethnic groups in Kenya. On this day, people come together to mark the approach of the long-awaited rains and say goodbye to the dry season. During the water festival in Nairobi, various traditional rituals and ceremonies are held, including songs, dances, prayers, and formal water blessing ceremonies. People also exchange wishes for prosperity and abundance and treat each other to traditional foods and drinks. This celebration is an important aspect of Nairobi's cultural heritage and unites the people of the city around a common festive spirit. Continued colonial heritage. How did the Nairobi railway station survive the colonial era and still remain a symbol of cultural heritage? During the colonial era, the Nairobi railway station was one of the important infrastructure projects conceived and built by the British colonizers. This architectural masterpiece, combining elements of Victorian and African styles, became not only an important hub in the transport network, but also a symbol of the power and presence of the British Empire in the region. Although the colonial era is long gone, the railway station remains an important element of Nairobi's historical and cultural heritage. Today, it attracts both tourists who want to delve into the city's history and locals who are proud of their cultural heritage and past. Sukumoi and Nyamachoma. How do you imagine the cuisine of East Africa? Let's take a look at what amazing flavors and traditions this region hides within itself, especially in the context of its culinary heritage. East African cuisine is a unique blend of influences from local traditions and cultural elements indigenous to the region. The most famous dishes include ugali, which is maize or buckwheat flour mixed with water and boiled to a thick consistency. It is often served with various sauces such as maharahara, spicy tomato sauce, mbuzi, pumpkin sauce, or irio, mashed potatoes and vegetables. The most popular meat dishes include nyamachoma, fried fish, or nyamachoma, fried meat, often served with irini, rice, sukuma wiki, green vegetables, and kachumbari, tomato and onion salad. East African cuisine is also rich in a variety of fruits such as mangoes, papayas, bananas, and pineapples, which are used in desserts or eaten fresh as a snack or side dish. One of the key features of East African cuisine is its diversity and richness of flavors. The dishes of this region are known for their aromatic, spicy palate and the combination of different ingredients that create a unique flavor. East African cuisine not only satiates the body, but also satisfies the soul, providing a unique culinary journey through the centuries and cultures of this beautiful region. Karabarini. Mysterious places in Nairobi are like mysterious portals to the past that hide many secrets and mysteries. One of the most mysterious places in Nairobi is Karabarini, or the City of Darkness. This neighborhood is known for its atmosphere of mystery and secrecy, as well as the mystical legends associated with it. Many city dwellers avoid this place because of its dark reputation and the scary stories associated with it. Another mysterious place in Nairobi is Kibera, which is known for its tangled streets and hidden passages. Many people have got lost in this maze of streets, and it still remains unknown what lies in its furthest corners. The secrets of these places remain unsolved, and many of them are shrouded in myths and legends. But there are also those who claim that these places hide secret societies, forbidden rites, and unexplored treasures. Regardless of how true these stories are, Nairobi's mysterious places continue to attract the curious and adventurers ready to uncover their secrets. Nairobi Museum World. How familiar are you with Nairobi's Museum World? What treasures of history and culture lie hidden in its depths? Nairobi offers a fascinating immersion into history and culture through a host of museums that reflect the country's rich heritage. At the National Museum of Kenya, you'll learn about ancient artifacts, the country's flora and fauna, and its ethnic diversity. The East African Railway Museum tells the history of railway transport in the region. And the Karen Blixen Museum, author of African Elegance, will immerse you in the world of colonial life and wildlife in Africa. These Nairobi museums not only preserve the country's historical heritage, but are also a place of education and inspiration for locals and tourists alike. When you visit them, you'll be immersed in a unique atmosphere and experience Kenya's history and culture that will leave an unforgettable impression. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to leave a comment with the keyword mystery. And if you want to learn even more mysterious customs and interesting facts about Kenya, subscribe to our channel. Give us a like and share your impressions. Thank you for participating in this fascinating journey into the world of Nairobi and Kenya.